Hello. Today we are going to learn how to add fractions with unlike denominators. The first strategy is to check if one of the denominators is a factor of the other number. The larger factor is the new common denominator. So when you are adding fractions, you want to make sure that you're adding together the same sized piece, which means you need the same denominator. Let's look at this example. 3/8 plus 1/4. Since 4 is a factor of 8, we can make an equivalent fraction with the denominator of 8 that's equal to 1/4. 3/8 can stay the same. This saves us time, which is why this is a good strategy. We can make 1/4 into an equivalent fraction over 8. Since 4 times 2 equals 8, 1 times 2 is 2. 2/8 is our new equivalent fraction. I rewrote both fractions above with 8 as our common denominator, so 3/8 plus 2/8 is 5/8. This is our answer. Let's try another. 2/9 plus 1/3. 3 is a factor of 9, so 2/9 can stay the same. We now want to find an equivalent fraction for 1/3 with 9 as our new denominator. 2/9 stayed the same, and then 1/3 is equivalent to 3/9. If we add 2/9 plus 3/9, 5/9 is our new answer. Sometimes, one number is not a factor of another. If that's the case, multiply the two denominators together to find your new common denominator. Create equivalent fractions for both fractions with the new common denominator. So if we're adding 3/4 plus 1/5, we can find a common denominator by multiplying 4 times 5. Since 4 times 5 is 20, we can make 20 our new common denominator. So we can set up equivalent fractions. 3/4 is equal to something over 20. Since 4 times 5 is 20, 3 times 5 is 15, so 3/4 is equal to 15/20. 1/5 is equal to something over 20. Since 5 times 4 is 20, 1 times 4 is 4. We now have our two equivalent fractions with the common denominator. When we add those together, we get our answer of 19/20. Let's try this next one. 1/3 plus 2/4. 3 is not a factor of 4, so we can find an equivalent fraction. Let's multiply 3 times 4 together to give us 12 as our new common denominator. Take some time to find equivalent fractions with this new denominator. Does your answer match mine? I set up equivalent fractions over 12. 1/3 is equal to 4/12 and 2/4 is equal to 6/12. When we add them together, we get 10/12. If you simplify that fraction by dividing both the top and the bottom by 2, you get an answer of 5/6. Both answers are equivalent. Let's pick the best strategy. To the left, I have two examples. Figure out a common denominator and how you can add these together. When you're ready, we'll check our answers. Do your answers match mine? Ask yourself, is 4 a factor of 8? And if it is, you only need to make 1/4 into an equivalent fraction over 8. Since 2/3 and 1/5 does not have a fraction where one of the numbers is a factor of the other, let's multiply them together to give us 15 and then find our common denominators. Great job. You're on your way to becoming a fraction whiz.